Your live conversation with Mr. Body here on this beautiful Monday afternoon, right? And so what is today? Today is Mindset Monday, Motivation Monday. Thank God it's Monday. Whatever you want your Monday to be, that's what it's going to be, right? And so today's topic of conversation, we're going to be talking about, listen, like, what are you focusing on, right? What are you focusing on when it comes to you being able to create your results, right? Are you only focusing on what's not changing? Or are you also paying attention to what is changing, right? Because listen, if you don't realize it and if you haven't gotten it yet, is whatever you focus more on, you are going to continue to get more of it, right? And so what does that mean for you? That means if you continuously focus on what's not changing, if you continuously focus on what you don't have yet, if you continuously focus on how far you have to climb, it is going to affect your ability to create the results in a way that you desire, right? Because you know what? Listen, you're going to continue to focus on those things. You're going to start to do less and less because you're like, well, what's the point anyway? Subconsciously, most people, when they focus on the negative and what's not happening and how far they have to go, they start to tell themselves subconsciously, well, what is the point in me eating the way that I've been eating if it's not creating change? What's the point of me dedicating an hour or an hour and a half to working out on a daily basis if I'm not seeing results? Not realizing that there are certain things that probably are changing. So here's your first tip of it, right? Is that you want to start tracking all of your progress. And what do I mean by all of your progress? Listen, you know what? Chances are, look, I've been a certified personal trainer now for 19 years, and most people I talk to, what do they focus on? They focus on the number on the scale and how big their stomach looks. And then, you know, on the women's side, they focusing on that booty. Right? Those three things are the things that most people focus on when it comes to the creation of new results, whether they're looking to lose weight, whether they're looking to put on muscle, whether they're looking to drop some body fat, whatever the case may be, those three areas are the areas most focused on. And if those three areas are not changing, most people, not saying that that's you, let's hope it's not you, right? Because, and if it is you, you leaving this behind. But when you focus on only on those three areas and that's not changing, you skip over all the other things that are changing, right? So, okay, listen, you might be focused on your hip measurements, right? You might be focused on your waist measurement, right? And then you're focused on a number on the scale. What about your arms, right? Are your arms changing? What about your back and bust area? Is that changing? What about your thigh measurement? Is that changing? What about your calf? What about your body fat? Because if you don't realize this, listen, body fat controls more of what your body looks like than the number on the scale. How can I tell you that? Well, listen, here's a true fact. You can have two people, same height, same weight, same age, same sex, and their bodies look completely different based on who has less body fat. I promise you. That's just the way it works, right? And so I'm just trying to give you some things to start to understand. But in the grand scheme of things, not only about the inches measurements, what about your endurance level? Are you not getting tired as quickly? Do you have more energy throughout the day? Are you getting stronger? Are you able to do more reps, more sets, more weight? Have less rest time in between your sets? You see, these are all areas that you got to understand make the whole of your progress towards your goal. But when you only focus on certain things, it's going to affect your ability, right? So I want you to make some mindset shifts right now. It's time for you to shift your mind and say, you know what? Okay, well, listen, I understand that, you know what, my stomach isn't going the way that I want it to go right now, right? Because it doesn't mean it's not going to change. I understand that my booty ain't round and ripe like I want it to be, right? But I've got some progress in these other areas. And so let me also focus on what I am making progress on, right? You see, you got to have some balance. I'm not saying to ignore the things that are not changing, but if that's all you focus on, that negativity is going to weigh you down. If that's all you focus on, it's going to bring your level of intensity down. If that's all you focus on, you will not give the same kind of effort as if you saw those areas change. And I'm telling you right now, you have progress in other areas. Again, I've been doing this for 19 years, and when I track my clients' measurements and all this other stuff, and we do fitness tests, and then they start to realize that they've made some progress, because here's another truth for you, right? Your eyes are going to lie to you. Yes, your eyes lie to you. And why do your eyes lie to you? Because listen, at the end of the day, you probably look at yourself naked at least once or twice daily. And so because you're consistently looking at yourself and looking at yourself naked, you don't notice the gradual changes. That's why when other people that don't see you on a daily basis, probably never seen you naked, and they tell you, hey, you've made some changes. They're like, ooh, have you lost some weight? Ooh, have you gotten tighter? Ooh, is your booty looking better? All of these things. And you know what? Oftentimes, if you are a person that is focused on what's not happening, if you are a person holding on to the things that aren't changing that you really want to change, you can't even receive that positive information, that compliment from whoever, because you are so upset that these things are not changing. And you're like, man, all right, you know what? Thanks, but you know, I don't see it. So here's another thing, progress pictures, right? Because the picture is not going to lie. And so when you put that before and that during, right, I'm not going to call it necessarily an after, but if you put that before next to 30 days or 21 days, you will see a difference in your body if you're doing all the things that are necessary and required. And oftentimes that can be your motivation and inspiration to say, wow, I didn't even realize that this was happening. Wow, I didn't even notice that these things were changing. But now that I know, and I didn't even put in all the effort that I should have because I was so frustrated and so upset that these things weren't changing, and I thought nothing was happening and nothing was working. But in fact, things were working behind the scenes, and now I realize, so let me give it some more effort. You see, these are the power of tracking stats. These are the power of taking before and after pictures or before and progress pictures so that you can see, so that you can stop believing what your eyes are telling you, because your eyes are lying to you. Until you get to your perceived final destination, you're never going to like what you see. It's always going to be something wrong. But it takes, when you have somebody, a support system or other individuals that can point out the things that are changing. Do you know that I've had some clients, like some women and some men, that didn't even realize that they had changed their bodies until I pointed out the fact that they are not wearing the same clothes, or the clothes are falling off of them, but they're so used to putting it on that they didn't even realize how bad they look inside the clothes, because they still thought they were a certain size that they are no longer. You know, oftentimes we keep things that are, you know, from our previous body type. When we were a little bit smaller, when we were a little bit fitter. And as your body's changing, because they're still in your closet, you put something on and it doesn't fit, and you go grab something else and it doesn't fit, and you go grab something else and it doesn't fit. But here's the key thing, and what's so funny and interesting about how the mind works: because you're so focused on what's not changing, because you're so focused on what's not happening, you haven't realized that you just went through 5 outfits before you found one that fit. And then the one that fit, you don't even realize that it's 2 sizes smaller than what you had been wearing when you got started. Until somebody points it out. So I'm pointing it out for you. I'm pointing it out for you right now that it's time for you to start to take control of your destiny. It's time for you to start to pay attention to what you're focusing on. Stop paying attention and focusing so much and solely on what's not changing. Again, I'm not saying do not focus on those things. Yes, you got to pay attention to it, because what's not changing is going to allow you to understand what you need to do to change. And if you don't know what to do, it's time for you to stop thinking that you know and invest in somebody that can help you make the adjustments that are necessary and required in order for you to continue to move forward. Because the progress is there for you. The results are there for you. It's waiting for you to make a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to step into it and I'm going to focus on where I'm going versus on how far I need to go to get there, or where I am currently. The choice is yours. I'm just telling you, that simple shift of looking at the whole picture, that simple shift of understanding that things are working and things are progressing and you are making steps in the right direction towards your goals, it will change the game for you and your results. So go out there, make those shifts, and start to dominate your results. Why? Because it's possible for you. It's your boy, Mr. Body. If you got some value in this video, feel free to hit the share button, tag somebody that needs to hear this message, invite somebody to come and watch this video so that they can get the same value that you got, and go out there and dominate your day, all right? Peace.